Welcome to the Blooming League of Original Podcasts.
Welcome to the second episode of season 2 of And the EGOT Goes To, a breakdown and predictions podcast for the major US based award shows. Today we continue our second season with our coverage of the 77th Tony Awards and the 2023-2024 Broadway season. I'm your host, Spencer, and with me is our panel.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I see a lot of theater. I talk about it on TikTok, Instagram, all of the platforms, and I'm really excited about this season, where we have a lot of women telling women's stories, and that's what I care about. And I don't care about boys. That's all.
Hi, I'm Kate. Theater is my life, and I love seeing it, and I cannot wait to talk about the season, which is overwhelming in the best kind of way.
Hi, I am JT and I do NYC. I am obsessed with theater. I will see anything once, and I am super excited about this season that I am extremely behind on. But don't worry, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Today we're going to start by discussing our predictions for the categories that contain musicals. We will just let you all know what is eligible in which places. Eligible for Best Musical, we have Once Upon a One More Time, Here Lies Love, Back to the Future, Harmony, How to Dance in Ohio, Days of Wine and Roses, The Notebook, Water for Elephants, The Outsiders, Lampika, Suffs, Hell's Kitchen, The Heart of Rock and Roll, The Great Gatsby, and Illinois. And eligible for Best Revival of a Musical, we have Merrily We Roll Along, Gutenberg the Musical, Spamalot, The Who's Tommy, The Wiz, and Cabaret. The only addition to this is the play Stereophonic will be eligible for Best Score. So we'll go ahead and start with our first category, Sound Design of a Musical. I can go ahead and start with my predictions for nominations. I have Here Lies Love, Tommy, Suffs, Hell's Kitchen, and The Notebook. In my opinion, this is where Here Lies Love should get some love. The technology in order to have everyone moving around the theater is crazy. And I think it deserves, at the very least, a nomination here. And I hope that the sound designers who are on a nominating committee realize that. Kate, what are your thoughts?
I agree on Here Lies Love. I think this would definitely be a good spot for it to squeeze in. And I definitely agree with Tommy. I think that's some of the best sound design on Broadway right now. But I also put in The Outsiders. I really liked the sound design of The Outsiders and the way that they incorporated sound into the cinematic elements of that show, specifically in the fight sequences. I thought was really well done. So I would probably put in The Outsiders over The Notebook.
JT?
So I am definitely not where I need to be with my musical knowledge this season so far. But got tons of shows booked over the next 2 weeks. So I just went with hearsay for my predictions for this. So I have Cabaret, Here Lies Love, The Notebook, Back to the Future, and Hell's Kitchen.
And Ashley?
I do. I mean, I think the Outsiders thing is a good call, Kate. I do have The Notebook squeezing in there though, because I just think like the way that they play with time is really, really cool, and the way that they like incorporate like the past and the present with like the hospital noises when they like, and then you like don't realize they're happening, and suddenly they like transition. Like I think that's really cool, and just like when with the rain, I just think it's really, really beautiful. But I feel like it's probably, from everything I've been hearing, it's the Who's Tommy's to lose. But I know we're not picking predictions, but although I've heard it's just very loud, but well done. That's one of the only two musicals I haven't seen this season. So
it's very loud, but I could understand what they were saying. So I was like, oh, props.
Which I do think has been a problem, which is like, I went to Invited Dress for Cabaret, and I do have it in here, but like when they were turned away from us, it was sometimes hard to hear.
Ooh.
So again, they probably have a drop fixed that since invited, but like if they, I feel like that's what's weird about that show is I feel like your view of all of everything in the show depends on where you're sitting. And so that's what I'm very curious. I mean, Here Lies Love too, to an extent. But
It'll be interesting to see where they sit the people at Cabaret.
that's what I'm fascinated by.
My mom's seeing it tonight from Mez 2, so we'll see if she can hear it. I could hear it fine.
That's the normal Mez.
That's normal Mez, yeah.
Mez 4 is the new
Is
Mez,
the
which
new
I think
Mez.
is the best seat in the house, as far as I'm concerned.
Just avoid Mez 3, because then you miss Sally Bowles' entrance.
Lighting design of a musical. I have Back to the Future, The Who's Tommy, The Outsiders, Lempicka, and Cabaret.
Yeah.
I have a lot of the same ones.
Yeah, I have exactly the same.
So I may be like in the minority here. But I have most of those same ones except for How to Dance and Once Upon One More Time are on my list too. I think I just really enjoyed the lighting in both of those shows. Weirdly, I know, Kate, relax.
No, I was literally just thinking I should probably put Here Lies Love in that category because I love the lighting in that.
Yeah, Here Lies Love had great category. Had great.
Yeah, I have. I enjoyed, like, there were two things about Once Upon One More Time that I liked, and one of them was the lighting. I thought it was cool, and it was very character driven, which I enjoyed. And yeah, so that's why I have that in that category.
Yeah, I think again in any other year, it would have been remembered, and I would have put it in there. But the problem is there's other lighting that I liked better. Like I really liked the lighting for both Once Upon a One More Time and Here Lies Love, but they're not going to be remembered in this category, I don't think.
Right.
Scenic design of a musical. I have The Great Gatsby, Cabaret, Back to the Future, The Notebook, and Here Lies Love.
I have Lempicka in for The Notebook, but I love the scenic design for Lempicka. I think it's really, really beautiful. I love all the like levels and layers.
Yeah, again, I have not seen tons of musicals yet. So this is partial hearsay, partial social media stalking. I have Lempicka, Gatsby, Cabaret, Back to the Future, and then like my little dark horse in there is Harmony, but it's only in there because I feel like there was some cool stuff with like the projections in the mirrors and stuff like that, and I thought that was kind of
That would be lighting, would be projections.
No,
Well,
projections
Is it Scenic?
it's
Scenic. It's
it's
Scenic.
usually combined with Scenic, yeah, depending on the show. But for
Oh,
that,
But
Back
it's-
to,
but-
Back
and-
to the
but
Future, it's
Beowulf-
with lighting. I think they said in eligibility, didn't they?
they haven't done eligibility for Harmony yet.
No, I'm saying for Back to the Future.
I think it was Scenic. I have, instead of The Notebook, Gutenberg, because that was my favorite scenic design of the year.
Gutenberg was very cool, and I would not be
Yeah.
upset for it to be in here.
Yeah.
And I would also love a Here Lies Love nomination here. Because I appreciate it now so much more. Also, having been back at the Broadway and seen Gatsby, like I appreciated the transformation that they did to the Broadway so much more.
I'm excited. I'm seeing it
My-
tomorrow, so I'm excited.
My issue with Here Lies Love is that what made it so cool was not the scenic, it was the lighting.
The scenic looked cheap. It looked cheap. When you were on the floor, you felt like you were sitting watching a bunch of people move a bunch of little wooden stages around. Like, and I
You feel
think
like Here Lies Love.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the
well-
problem is I think once you see Guys and Dolls in London, you're like, this is what
Yeah.
really fucking cool
Yeah.
scenic design looks like.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And so to me, I think that I really think what they tried to do with Here Lies Love was cool. And I know they had a crazy large budget and it still didn't feel.
They just need to stage it at the bridge.
Yes.
That just needs to be the solution.
Yes.
Confirming that Finn Ross, the video designer of Back to the Future, is eligible for scenic.
Okay. We think we see a Gatsby nomination here?
In Scenic?
Scenic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What the amount of money that has been spent on this new Gatsby is like
Yeah.
wild. It's beautiful.
Definitely over the Notebook.
I can't wait.
Now, Ashley, do you want to go ahead with direction of a musical?
Oh, no.
Okay,
No,
I'll do direction of a musical. Bring
Okay,
it.
Kate, go ahead.
Direction of a musical is super exciting because we have some really well directed shows this year. I have Danya Tamor for The Outsiders, Maria Friedman for Merrily We Roll Along, Rebecca Frecknell for Cabaret. And then I also stuck in Alex Timbers for Gutenberg. I know, controversial, but I just thought that show was so well directed. And then for that fifth slot, there's a couple people that I could swap in and out. I did go Shelley Williams and Michael Greif for The
That's what
Notebook,
I'm-
which is not my favorite direction, but I do think it's one of the better directed shows this year.
Did you have
Oh.
Water for Elephants in there?
I do not, but
Yeah, I put Jessica Stone in because she's the only good thing about that show other than the circus.
you're not wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot about Water for Elephants. I would definitely put Jessica Stone in there over Michael Greif.
Guys,
and Shelley
it's
Williams.
winning the Tony Award. It's winning. It's sweeping all of the Tony
At this
categories.
point, at this point, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Critics
Again,
pick.
my picks are all hearsay, because I feel like I've only seen the lesser great portion of musicals so far. So there's only good things ahead, hopefully. So I have Notebook, Cabaret, Merrily, Lempicka, and Outside.
Best orchestrations. I have Water for Elephants because I love me some banjo, Lempicka, Cabaret, Heart of Rock and Roll, and Gatsby. Actually, scratch that. I'm replacing Heart of Rock and Roll with The Notebook. Anyone
So
else?
this is my nominations are clearly off of social media hype, and what I can find in the sounds tab on TikTok. And so they are Heart of Rock and Roll, Gatsby, Lempicka, and Here Lies Love. I don't know what it is, but that music, like,
I don't think Here Lies Love can get orchestrations. Technically.
well,
Yeah.
there's a ton of bops, and I'm here for it. So,
Can Merrily get it or no? Because is it
No, it's the original orchestration.
got it.
oh, so I'll just replace that with.
And
Is
JT, I don't think Here
Stereophonic?
Lies Love can get it.
I'm changing Here Lies Love to The Notebook.
I don't know if Stereophonic will be eligible. That's a good
Hmm.
question.
Because then that changes things. Yeah,
Okay, so I have Notebook, Hell's Kitchen, Lempicka, Suffs, and Outsiders.
Because I think to me, The Outsiders of Water for Elephant is almost the exact same score, but I like The Outsiders better. But it like sounds the same. Like I if you would most of the songs I think in The Outsiders or Water for Elephants, you could almost you could play it right now and ask me which show it was from, and I don't know if I could tell you. Like if they don't say like it's a show about lions eating people, but not really. And then I'd be like, oh, that's Water for Elephants.
I love The Outsiders where they have like the duet of them at the movie house and it sounds exactly like Jimmy Buffett's Escape. Like that's like like and I really love the orchestrations for Suffs. I thought it got a major upgrade from the public. A lot of really good use of instruments to differentiate where they are and like what side they are on the movement. So a
Yeah,
lot of
I
really
would
good stuff in
actually.
there.
I think I might replace Lempicka with Suffs.
See, I love the orchestra. I love because Lempicka is one of the only scores to me this season that like has a sound. Like it really has a sound.
That's true.
It sounds different and unique and cool. And I think when you're comparing it to the work of like everything this season, it is the one that has the most like interesting sound. And it's not like a musical
Yeah.
theater sound, as we love to say this season, because that's the new.
I would also love to advocate for Jason Howland. I love me some Jason Howland orchestrations. And I love them in Gatsby.
I'm glad you do.
I don't love the songs, but I think the orchestrations are pretty.
Yeah, I like Green Light a lot.
Yeah, Green Light's a
Yeah.
great song. And
They should do. They
for
should.
her,
They should do Song of the Year. That's the category we should add. Just
it'd
Song of the
be
Year.
Green Light versus Woman Is
Oh.
versus Building Momentum. I also think that Limpika does a really good job where the instruments not just the musical has a specific sound, but the characters have a specific sound, which I really, really appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, and like that's something that feels very Wicked to me. Because in Wicked the characters are grounded. The characters are grounded to specific sounds. Glinda is very light and like chimey, whereas Elphaba is like very earth tones and African drums and like that sort of things. And you can really feel that difference.
I also have Hell's Kitchen in this category because I think I saw Hell's Kitchen last night on Broadway and it sounds beautiful. Like it sounds like they've taken these songs and the way they've orchestrated them are stunning. And we talked about this. Like what I think is really cool is, so there's obviously a piano player who does the majority of the piano playing, but Brandon Victor Dixon plays all of his own piano and he's so good. We'll get to this later on, but he's so unbelievably good that I really just cannot get over how good he is in this. And like when he's playing piano, he's singing these like Alicia Keys songs that you've heard so many times because he gets every like big famous one other than Girl on Fire. He's sung by Brandon Victor Dixon, it feels like. And they just sound incredible. And they sound like theater. Like they don't like they've taken them and they've made them sound like musical theater, but not like in an annoying way.
Oh, that's exciting. I have 2 months until I go see it, so
I'm gonna try and see both that and Outsiders next week.
literally 3 months. April, May, June, July. Yeah, 3 months until I'm able to see that show.
Well, after Tonys.
After the Tonys, yes.
Kate, I'm gonna let you lead off with our next category. Best book of a musical.
None of them.
It really is true.
So, well, that's it's not true anymore. Stuffs is definitely going to get a book nomination, and at this point, maybe the front runner. Just they've done so much work on that show, and I'm super impressed. I would definitely say Stuffs. I would definitely say Outsiders. I have not seen it yet, but I think Harder Rock and Roll could squeeze into this category because it's wide open. It's wide open for books right now. We are in a book drought. I definitely think we're going to see Notebook in here. And then for the fifth one, I'll go Water for Elephants because the book is what carries that show way over the score. So those are my 5.
You don't think we see a Hell's Kitchen nomination?
If we see a Hell's Kitchen nomination, I will no longer be on this podcast because I will have quit theater.
Well, Hell's Kitchen is on my list, so
we had a New York
JJ.
book nomination.
We did. And you know what? They're the same show.
Yeah.
All the way down to the ending.
I have Notebook, Hell's Kitchen.
That's so true.
And Water for Elephants. I don't have a 5th one.
Yeah, I have Stuffs Outside. Yes, that's.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
I'll
the
put
same as
Outsiders
Kate.
there just so that I can have 5. I have not seen that yet.
Good. It's good. You should see it.
I'm gonna.
Also, before we start the actors, we have no idea Notebook eligibility.
This is correct.
We have no idea lead. We have no idea featured.
Correct.
So I'm just putting people in boxes because I think that these are the people who will get nominated, and they will get nominated in whichever category, in my opinion, they get eligible for. The people for Notebook. Anna Cruz, Suffs, Marianne Plunkett, Notebook, Lindsay Mendez, Merrily Roll Along, Shoshana Bean, Hell's Kitchen, and Amber Rahman Lampika is my featured actress.
See, I don't have Mary because I think I put her in lead. So who knows?
I don't think her role is big enough for lead.
She's in the whole show.
She's in the whole show and she's above the title.
Oh, is she above the title?
Yeah, I believe she is above. I think she and the two older.
I think they're all below.
They're all below. Okay. never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, I believe if I remember it correctly, they're all listed, all 6 of them, but Marianne and Dorian are the top of that list.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Let me look. Yeah, they're all listed right below the title.
Well, we'll find out. I have Joy Woods in there.
Oh, I see. I did Joy Woods in leading.
That's wild.
I have no
Significantly
idea where
smaller
this
part.
eligibility is going to go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to switch those two.
Again, we could all be wrong because who fucking knows?
I definitely think it's either they're all gonna go featured or Marianne and Dorian go leading.
Yeah.
And if they all go featured, I think Marianne and Joy will both probably end up. I think we will see Marianne, Joy, Amber, Shoshana, Lindsay, but also who knows? I could see Shoshana not making it in there.
See, I also have Leslie Kritzer sneaking into that category.
I mean, if anything if Spamalot gets anything, that's what it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see a Hannah Cruz nomination. I don't know if we will, but I would love to. She's great in stuffs. She was incredible in The Connector off Broadway.
I think my problem, and I really, really like Hannah Cruz and stuffs, is that I really loved Hannah Cruz and stuffs off Broadway.
Yeah.
And I wish I hadn't seen her in the other role off Broadway. But I really, really like her and stuff. And I really love Kim.
I almost think that if we get any stuffs featured actress nomination, it's gonna be Nikki M. James.
Yeah.
Or Jen Kalila.
I'd put Nikki over Jen.
Yeah.
And I think they're both great, but
I think, yeah.
We're on agreement though on Amber Rahman, Shoshana Bean, Lindsay Mendez, and Joy Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't really think...
fifth of some sort.
Yeah. And the Notebook, however it falls.
Yeah.
I love Shoshana. I don't think she squeezes into that category.
Well, I have Shoshana there unless Marianne and Joy are both considered featured, and then I have her out for Marianne.
You know who we're also forgetting that's probably going to be in that category? Bebe Neuwirth.
Oh, that's so true.
It's like, wait, go back.
Okay, goodbye, Shoshana.
Bye, Shoshana.
Who has a very good chance of winning that category? Bebe Neuwirth.
I don't think she beats Lindsay, but who knows?
Because
again,
true. I forget about
my
Lindsay.
problem is right, because this is why we need a featured and a supporting.
Yeah.
We need a supporting actor and a featured actor as two different categories, because you can't compare Lindsay, who's in the majority of Merrily and has like most of the emotion, is like a large emotional arc. Anyway, whatever. I can talk about this all day, but it's just like, it's really hard to compare what she's doing in that to like what Amber Amon even gets in Limpico, which is like a very beautiful, but like just like more intimate. I don't know.
Best choreography.
I just wanted to give this a list somewhere. I have Gatsby, Heart of Rock and Roll, Here Lies Love, Once Upon a One More Time, and The Wiz.
I have Illinois, The Outsiders, Heart of Rock and Roll, Gatsby, Hell's Kitchen.
I have The Outsiders, Illinois, Hell's Kitchen, Hard Rock and Roll, and Once Upon a One More Time. But that Once Upon a One More Time shot is probably not going to be there. But I'm doing it.
I would love for it to get a nomination.
Me too.
Same Z's.
I think it's going to be Illinois or The Outsiders, but who knows?
Spencer, I think ours are the same. I just forgot your order, but I have Hell's Kitchen, Illinois, Tommy, Heart of Rock and Roll, and Outsiders.
What was your third one?
Tommy.
Oh no, I put Gatsby in.
Oh yeah. No, I don't have Gatsby, but I haven't seen the new version, and the choreography is very, very good for that. I think Lauren Lataro is going for the double nomination because her choreography is so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Tommy yet, so I have not. I don't know the choreography.
I saw it a very long time ago, and I don't remember. I saw it last summer.
Oh, it's like all like it's basically Illinois. Like it's all sung through. It's all choreography.
Okay.
A lot of the movement, like a lot of like the blocking itself is all choreography.
Oh, really?
A lot of very big energy.
Yeah, I feel like Des McDonough is doing very little work on the show.
Most of his work is just like we're walking around the square.
Yeah.
But when you have them like running tests on Tommy, there's a lot of really cool choreography where they're literally like tossing this kid like around the stage and you're like, what is happening? It's very cool. Could not tell you the plot, but the choreography got a lot of the plot through. So props to that.
Well, I was literally about to ask you what is that show about, but no,
I could not tell you, and I just saw it 2 days ago.
that's great. I'm here for it. My
I
kind.
think he's Jesus. I'm not sure.
My kind.
Best revival of a musical. I have Merrily We Roll Along, Cabaret,
What?
Who's Tommy, and The Wiz as my 4. Are there 3 or 4? Do we
Ooh,
know?
The Wiz. I believe it's gonna be 4 this year because we have 6 eligible. 3 or 4.
I would personally rather see Gutenberg in there over Wiz, but I know that's a long shot.
I would rather see Gutenberg too. So I put it in.
Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, I haven't. Wiz is one of the only ones I haven't seen yet. So, but I haven't really heard any. Like, I haven't heard anything.
All I've heard is that
only
it
horrible
looks.
things.
Yeah, all I've heard is it looks extremely cheap.
Yeah, I only have my only exposure to the Wiz currently are when I'm scrolling past the videos on TikTok because I don't want to watch them because I know they're gonna make me upset because I don't like how it looks. And the Wiz has a very special place in my heart.
I love the Wiz.
It looks very, very cheap. It looks very, very what's the word that I can say without being
It looks like a tour.
it looks like non-ec freshman straight out of AMDA tour. It looks horrible. It's not I don't like the costumes. I don't like the set. Am I roasting this show right now? I don't like the costumes. I don't like the set. I don't like a lot of the casting.
Wait, JT, there's a set? Doesn't look like there's a set.
My point.
The LED screen.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm seeing it Tuesday. I'm very not excited.
Yeah, when like it was announced it was happening, like the sheer joy in my heart has all been crumbled. Like trashed, crumbled down to the ground, like the day we found out Once Upon a One More Time was closing. Like that is how much it crumbled. Like it was terrible. I wanted to cry. And that is my rant on The Wiz. Am I still gonna go see it? Of course. And I will have tissues ready to cry for how disappointed I am.
Ugh. I hear Nichelle is fantastic, so at least we get a star.
Yeah. I've heard from everyone the entire cast sounds incredible. That like it's a really like they're really good. The cast is really good. So
that is the only thing I've heard.
Yeah. But like, you know what? I would go to a concert version of The Wiz.
100%.
And I would have a good time.
So that's pretty much what it sounds like it is. So, you know.
We should really just go and be blindfolded. That's the solution.
$119.
You know, I was walking around the Marriott the other day and I could hear the like I don't know, the big 11 o'clock number that I already forgot what it's called because I have not listened to The Wiz in forever.
Home.
No, I thought she sings Home at the beginning.
Yeah, Home's at the top of the show, I think.
Oh no, what's the big one at the second?
The other one.
What it's right here. It's like on the tip of my tongue. What is it called? It's gonna bother me now.
But that song, I could just hear the vocals from it, not even the words. And you could hear it like in the lobby of the Marriott. So you could go and not see it.
Leading actor in a musical. I have Jonathan Groff for Merrily You Roll Along, Chip Zien for Harmony, Eddie Redmayne for Cabaret, Dorian Harewood for The Notebook, and Brian Darcy James for Days of Wine and Roses. I will advocate for Chip Zien here. He should get a nomination. This is it was such an incredible performance that he did in harmony,
I
and
agree.
I hope that they recognize that.
Yeah, he was very good. I really hope he gets remembered. I hope that him just getting cast in The Notebook reminds people that he did a really great job this season. I do not have, however, oh gosh, who did you say? Oh, Dorian. I
don't
put
either.
Ali in there for Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Scratch that. Forgot about that. Yeah, he gets nominated.
I'm really sad we probably won't see a Josh Gad, Andrew Rannells nomination here. I'm a little bummed for Brody because I think he's putting in the work in Outsiders, but I don't think he's going to squeeze into the category. But I won't be mad if he ends up finding a way.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
didn't particularly love Days of Wine and Roses, but I think that it's an incredible performance by Brian Darcy James and Kelly O'Hara.
I mean, guys, it could win
Oh,
the
yeah.
Tony. So
Yeah, I was like, Brian Darcy James is a shoo-in for a nomination.
Yeah,
It would be insane if he doesn't get in there. I think the only way that we could see other nominations is if there ends up being a tie for a 6th or 7th
I was saying
spot.
because we had 6 last year
Yeah.
in a year that we did not think was a particularly strong leading actor
Yeah.
year, which is wild.
and they
And we
didn't even nominate Will Swenson.
Correct.
Deserved.
Yeah,
I think the weird thing about last year is that like there was like 1 or 2 front runners, but then everybody else was kind of in the same tier. And this year we have pretty much 5. I would say at least there's 4 that are really, really strong, like guaranteed contenders in my opinion. And so then it gets harder for that last spot to be a tie. But we'll see. 'Cause there's only 60 nominators, so it really just comes down to
Yeah.
and
I mean, if we got 6 in every category and every actor category, I would not be mad.
Yeah,
I would not be mad at all.
I wouldn't be
It'd be great.
surprised to see the nominators slip a Jack Kelly in there. Either of them.
I was like, what? Gatsby or Hard Rock and Roll?
Yeah.
I would be shocked for both, but I just think Jeremy's so miscasting Gatsby. I know we said this last time. I'm sorry.
I agree, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be surprised. I feel like I've not talked to anyone that's not felt the same way about that, but I don't know. Give him he can get it for singing, I guess. Best singer in a musical.
That
That's
These are my
oh,
categories.
that's so funny to me.
These are my categories. Best song in a musical, best singer in a musical. I have a bunch of
we should
categories.
have a best song category. That does actually make sense. I
that's
want a
cool.
song of the year.
Yeah.
Song of the year, I think would be a great category. Yeah, this will be another episode of the podcast after the Tonys.
Yeah.
It'll be like categories we wish they had. And what would
No,
win.
we'll talk about it at
Ensemble
BroadwayCon.
song. There we go.
We'll talk about it at BroadwayCon. All the categories we want.
There's best ensemble, which is the full on actual background ensemble, and then best ensemble, the collection.
Cast, yeah. Best
of
company.
ensemble.
Ooh, best company. Yeah. There we go.
Best original score. I have Days of Wine and Roses, The Notebook, The Outsiders, Stereophonic, and Suffs. Kate?
Sorry, I'm trying to remember what you said. I don't have Days of Wine and Roses in there. I have Lempicka, but I think you're right. I think Days of Wine and Roses does get a spot, which I realized we didn't put into book, and I do think it's going to get a book nomination now that I think about it. So I'm swapping to go back for a second. I'm swapping out Hard Rock and Roll with Days of Wine and Roses. But for score, I agree. This is Stereophonics to lose.
Mhm.
Do we know? Are they officially eligible? Do we know?
It's I mean, they haven't determined eligibility beyond freaking
the
fall at this point. But
it would be
got
ridiculous
a score, so it's
to not
like
be.
there's no in the qualifications for eligibility, there is no requirement for how much of the score
That's-
there is in
That's
the
what I was
show.
wondering.
The only requirement is that it's over 50% original, and it
Which
is
is
100%
all
original.
original.
So it's eligible, as far as I'm concerned.
It'll be crazy with a show with 4 songs wins best score this year.
Hey, you know what? They're really good songs. The thing about Stereophonic is that show would not work on the level that it works if those songs were not from a fantastic album. The entire show would fall apart.
4 songs that are cut from a fantastic album.
We don't even
get
cut. They're not all cut. They don't cut Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, they just cut Masquerade, and
Ugh.
I don't think they cut Bright either, because she doesn't cut any of her songs. What was I saying before I started spoiling Stereophonic? Oh yeah, I just have Lampika in there. I think it's one of the better scores on Broadway. But I do think Suffs and Outsiders and Notebook are the 45th Street picks.
I rather have Lampika over Outsiders, because I don't remember a single moment of Outsiders music. But
Great Expectations, State Gold, the Escape song,
right, like I
Pina Colada.
Little Brother.
Oh my god, I just it was, yeah. Outsiders to me was about the dancing. It was not about the singing.
I will say I had forgotten how much I liked the score to Suffs in the 2 years since I had seen it.
Well, they also rewrote most of it.
Yeah,
it's like
that's true.
60% new. I was like,
But like the
it's
couple
all
of
new.
songs that were still there, I was like, oh, I really liked this song and completely forgot about it.
when
I
you
do
guys
miss Finish the Fight, but that's about it.
when you guys see Gatsby, there's one moment where it's literally Jordan and Nick are talking, and then he makes a comment where he's like, "If we were married," and I was like, "Are they about to sing If We Were Married" from Suffs in The Great Gatsby? It's like literally Jordan sitting there being like, "I'll never get married because I lose all of my human autonomy," and blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, I know all about this, Jordan. I know all about this."
Are they? Do they? Oh, I guess Gatsby takes place after Sus, because it's the 1920s.
Yeah.
I mean, not after all of Suffs.
No.
What the one scene in the 1970s?
Yeah.
I love how Suffs and Lampika cover the exact same amount of time. You have the Great War to the 1970s.
And it's like Harmony's in there too. They're like all these
Yeah.
musicals at the same time period.
Oh yeah. I guess Harmony's after, because it starts in the 30s.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Wrong war.
Harmony was the same time as, what was the other one I was thinking of? I forgot.
Featured actor in a musical. I'm going to start because I think that I'm going to have vastly different categories.
Ooh.
I have Noah J. Ricketts for Great Gatsby, Georgia Bood for Lampika, Paul Alexander Nolan for Water for Elephants, Daniel Radcliffe for Merrily Roll Along, and Conrad Ricamora for Here Lies Love.
I have 4 of the same. The only one I switched out is Noah for Brandon Victor Dixon in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh yeah, that's so right. Never mind. Goodbye, Noah. I forgot that he was in that show.
That's the only, like, and I think that's the only one that I think the other ones for me. I mean, Conrad is probably more of a hope than an actual.
I hope so.
Like,
yeah.
I hope Liam Pierce still squeezes into that category.
He would be leading though. There's no way that he would not be leading.
No, he'd be featured.
I think he'd be leading.
I think he'd be leading.
He's not in the majority of that show, y'all.
But they would but he's the final bow. He gets the final bow of the show.
He
would be
realize
leading.
that he's still featured.
I know, but I think they think he's leading. Whether or not you think he's leading, Kate, I think they think
But
he's
remember, they do not have the final say. The Tony committee can accept a petition or not. Like, the producers don't have the final say.
And I still think it's Daniel Radcliffe's to lose.
It is.
It definitely is Daniel Radcliffe's to lose. I don't think it's. I mean, I know we already talked about. We already talked about leading actor. I don't think it's Jonathan Groff's to lose anymore.
No, it's Eddie Redmayne's to lose.
Correct.
Yeah.
But up until then, I thought. But now, I mean, I still think it's very much Daniel Radcliffe's to lose.
I mean, I would not be unhappy with a Merrily acting sweep.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy, but
a merely acting sweep with a Gail Rankin
Yeah,
leading.
exactly.
Yeah.
I speaking of cabaret, I think Steven Skybill could sneak into this category.
Oh,
I just
that's
think
true.
his
I forgot
part
he
is
was
so
in that.
small.
It
Like,
is,
I
but he's
forget.
so good.
Right, he is really, really good. And again, that it's that Conrad spot that I think would be swapped out for other, and not because I don't think Conrad's amazing and deserves it, just because it was Here Lies Love was like another century ago. But I mean, I love Steven Skybill is one of my favorite actors like ever.
I mean, we'll see in our play nominations, but I was looking at a list of the shows this season and had completely forgotten about Grey House.
Yeah.
And
Grey
that
House,
was
yeah, we'll talk about that.
so long ago.
Yeah, but like lighting and scenic for Grey House would be, I
Yeah.
think, yeah. And even for like the cottage, like the scenic design of the cottage is
I have
really cool.
that in
Anyway.
there. Yeah.
I'm also gonna throw it out there because I would feel really bad for Ryan Vasquez if this happens, but I do think that Brent Comer could sneak into that category for The Outsiders because he
was
is
so
good.
good. Yeah, I literally forgot. Like, I always was like, oh, Brian was barely in The Outsiders. Like, I don't remember him in The Outsiders like at all. And then I was like, this was huge. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
I was sitting there and going, oh, did Ryan not pick right? But I do think, well, no, because then I was going back and going through the old version and they didn't add anything for that character.
My reasoning, I think, is that I think Ryan just looks too old for that role. Like, the thing about Brett, which is so good in The Outsiders, is he looks like a kid, which I think is like the point. Like, he's not supposed to be his 15-year-old brother, 15 years older than him brother. He's supposed to be like 21 years old trying to be his dad, which I think which works a lot better when Brett looks barely older than Brody, as opposed to Ryan, who looked like he could actually be Brody's dad.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, I think Brent could sneak in there.
He's so good. He was my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
And then we have two more categories. Leading actress in a musical. I have Eva Noblezada for The Great Gatsby, Marianne Plunkett for The Notebook, Gail Rankin for Cabaret, Malia Joy Moon for Hell's Kitchen, and Eden Espinosa for Lampika.
I have Shayna for Softs, Marianne, Eden, Kelly for Days of Winter Roses, and Gail for Cabaret.
Yeah,
I agree with
Kelly.
that.
I have Kelly, and I also have Nichelle.
Oh yeah, Nichelle.
I honestly
think this is
don't
the
think
category
Eden's
where we
gonna
might
get the
see it.
nomination.
Oh, I think she's so good.
I think it depends on when these nominators see her, and that's unfortunate. Because if they don't go on a Tuesday or a Wednesday,
they're gonna send them on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
They should, but like the fact that her performance isn't consistent right now concerns me in terms of her chances for a nomination.
I would love to see a Malia Joy nomination because I think that she's the best part of Hell's Kitchen. And then our last category is Best Musical. I have The Notebook, The Outsiders, Lampika, Suffs, and Days of Wine and Roses.
Oh, I should probably do mine. I never did that one. Give me 1 second.
Ashley?
I have Suffs, Water for Elephants, The Notebook, Days of Wine and Roses, and The Outsiders.
I have Illinois in here.
Yeah, I have Days of Wine and Roses / Illinois. Like I
have Days of Wine and Roses and Illinois. What am I missing from y'all's list?
I have Notebook, Outsiders, Lampika, Suffs.
Oh, I don't have Lampika and I don't have Water for Elephants. I have Outsiders, Suffs, Notebook, Days of Wine and Roses, and Illinois.
I would like to
Lampika, Days, Suffs, Notebook, and Outsiders.
I mean, I would love Lampika to be in here. I just have a hard time. But I guess we'll find out on Sunday. Water for Elephants I have in here exclusively because I apparently missed something about Water for Elephants that everyone else seems to understand. That's what I mean. The olds love Water for Elephants. And you know who are Tony nominators? The olds.
Oh,
that's not true. That's not true. Tony nominators are like they're the small group. So it's like what one of the Pasek or Paul, I don't remember which one. Whitney White's a nominator, which is hilarious because she should be nominated. It's a very what's her name? Helen. Something with P. The composer of K-pop. Thank you. But it's a very young, and that's why we get like really cool nominations and then not cool winners.
I have a question, like an opinion question. I don't like, do you guys think like the world of this would be different if like the seasons were like a set like time, as far as like if you want, like if you're going to be in the 2023-2024 Broadway season, you have to open your show between this date and this date in order to be eligible. Like
Well,
not like
you
like
do.
That's
well, no, I'm saying
what
like
That's how it
every
works.
no, I'm saying like every show has to open, like, you know what I'm saying, like on a specific date, and then every show, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No,
What am
'cause
I
that's
saying to you?
Saying
like
one
all
opening
the
night
shows
for
have
all
to
40
open.
shows in a season.
Not well, basically. Like, do you think,
What?
I think
no, what I'm
critics
saying,
would kill themselves.
no, what I'm saying is like I think that
What are you talking about, JT?
like I wish I could put it in words. Like it
What
just
you mean
like,
is you're worried that because people forget all the shows that open early.
yeah, like
But-
what if there was a world where that didn't exist?
I mean,
I-
really, yeah.
I do think that like not every show really wants or cares about awards. Like
Okay,
Back to
yeah.
the Future opened in the summer, and that's a blockbuster show. Like they're probably only going to get nominated for Scenic, and I don't think any of them care if they get awards
Yeah.
because they're not depending on that. Versus shows like Lempicka are probably going to close if they don't get nominated for anything, you know? So like
Well, and that's why like more commercial shows tend to open late summer, early fall, and the more artistic shows tend to really try and like stick at the end. Kimberly Akimbo, of course, being a outlier of that and opening in the fall, but most of the time we tend
Right.
to
And
see
if they
them
had
more.
they not won the Tony Award,
They would have
Kim-
closed.
yeah.
Yeah.
if the Tony Awards hadn't happened, like was the concern last year,
Yeah,
they
they
would
would've
have
closed.
closed.
Right.
They're still closing, but you know.
But like they would have
lasted a
closed.
whole-
They lasted
yeah.
a whole extra year. It's like pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
And so like I think
Right. What's the thing like because Back to the Future is going to make $1 bajillion on the tour, right? Like it doesn't. They don't need no one in Iowa
Yeah.
cares that Back to the Future won the Tony Award when it comes to Iowa. They're just like, oh, I like that movie. Oh, there's a car. I'm in. Like.
thank you for listening to And the EGOT Goes To. We'll be back next week with our predictions for the nominations of the play categories.